Hello, guys. I'm with Pretty Boy Chief on this episode of Traffic Law.
Yes, it's your boy, Pretty Boy Chief, and welcome to another amazing episode on the Traffic Vlog. If you haven't listened to our previous episode, please go back and listen. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe. My name is Pretty Boy Chief, and on my right, on my left, I'll be discussing this amazing episode with Max. And today's topic, we'll be talking about first impressions because this is something youths usually make mistake. They try some try to overdo and some try to belittle themselves. So on today's episode, we are going to be listing out how to give out good first impressions and the ones that you should keep off from, especially sims that are out there.
Like, very, very important. Very, 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 very important.
So
Can't
yeah,
emphasize enough.
sit tight on this episode. So, bro, what's a good first impression coming from a lady? What do you expect to feel when a lady approaches you or when you approach a lady?
Mm, no, being a lady basically has to do with you radiating the right feminine energy.
Okay.
So, first off, I would really appreciate a lady more if she's giving me the first impression of someone who is, let's say, caring, someone who gives you warmth during
Okay.
interactions, and I would really like, let's say, take for example now, somebody approaches me, a lady approaches me now. Like, first off, looking at her physically, like her
Okay.
physical appearance, first off also adds to the impression she gives
Okay.
for sure. Like, how is she dressing? What are maybe her main physical features she highlights
Okay.
and stuff like that. Then, like, little details too matters because I'm this kind of person now. Something as little as nail polish self
Sets you
really
off.
just set me off. Like, why your nail polish looking so cracky and stuff like that. But I feel if it comes to conversations now, I think where really matters is she being able to keep me in a kind of atmosphere that is very warm for me to express myself, for
Okay.
me to relate freely with her without having any like constrictions or things
Okay.
I'm hiding. And also, what matters most is for ladies, I feel if you begin to make a guy you just met up for the first time
Mm.
be like, omo, see, this one na person why fit tell some kind of things.
Okay.
Like, I believe you sent the wrong message because I mean these are ladies, like
Mm.
they are known for their feminine energy. Feminine energy is the kind of energy that makes you just feel relaxed,
Okay.
feel like comfortable enough, feel even to an extent, feel very open to tell them certain things because they are women, obviously. So that's why I said
So for if you're talking about girls that do BBL, for example, what do you think are their first impression? What do you think they are trying to make people see them as? Or what do you see them as rather? Let me put it like that. What do you see
this
them as?
this particular question, and like it tells me on this kind of like heat now because this is a very very like very very delicate
But do you like
issue.
BBL?
Obviously I shouldn't. Obviously I don't. Like, there's no reason why I should. But see, it's just so shameful and so sad at the same time because I feel you see this aspect of self-esteem. It contributes to certain things that maybe ladies now in our society today like really
Okay.
struggle with. Because I don't see any reason why you go for maybe like appearance enhancing processes just to make yourself feel confident
The
enough now to
covenant
relate with your
society.
peers. Like,
Yeah.
it's not really necessary. You have to be very, very comfortable in your own skin before you
Okay.
can even begin like radiating the right energy. Like, the first impression, as we said
Okay.
earlier on, like giving good first impression has to obviously start from your
Yeah, yeah,
self-esteem.
yeah.
If you have a very good level of self-esteem, I don't think you ever be found in a situation whereby you are giving a wrong impression about
But you
yourself.
know, like this talking about self-esteem is like difficult for ladies because guys in society now are quick to body shame when you are too slim.
See,
But you know it's true.
no, it's very, very true. It's
So
very, very true. But
everyone wants to be part of the
you see,
accepted figure.
it's just like I do say, social media being introduced to certain parts of Africa was really just the setup for many negative things now we are displaying amongst our peers, amongst our friends, even down to our family members.
Okay.
Because there's this ideology of comparison now when it comes to appearance, basically.
Mm.
There's this strong sense of comparison. Like, if you're not looking like Kim Kardashian now, obviously, there's no reason why you feel as a guy I should be
Yeah,
attracted to you.
yeah.
If you are not so curvy, if you are not so thick,
So this and
if you are
that.
not so I begin to wonder, like, one thing that's differentiated people in general has
Mm.
to be different in taste. So it seems like everybody now prefers busty ladies to slim ladies. Like, and those that like slim ladies now are no longer coming out to the open. Like, are you ashamed you like slim ladies? Or are
Yeah.
you ashamed you have a slim babe such that you can't even flaunt her now?
Mm.
Stuff like that. So it really gets me confused because still, like I said before, comparison ideology doesn't really help with the whole stigmatization of
But I just
body
feel like
size and
it's
appearance.
the whole Nigerian something because you might be talking about this something different and someone is trying to compare it to something. I think that's like how Nigeria works. Everybody trying to compare something to each other. So his own opinion
Mm-hmm.
is above everybody's own.
And it's just the basic like formation of every Nigerian. You must have the very, very high crave to just be judgmental, like excessively judgmental, even when you're just meeting somebody for the first time. And your appearance self, like it will like the majority of the percentage of how you judge the person. As a
Okay.
Nigerian, that's the way it always works. Like from just looking at the person alone. Okay, for example, now take
Mm.
for a Nigerian parent now, seeing a guy on earrings, for example. What do you think? What do you think would be the no now? Like it's something we all know now. It's just the appearance,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
always that foundation of any impression you're going to give anybody you meet or anybody you come across. That's what I
Okay, all right. Let's shift from the BBL person.
feel.
But first of all, for the listening slim up, what's the word? I don't always use slim, but the not too fat ladies.
Okay.
What are you saying to them? Like, what are you saying? Are you saying to them that they should be confident in their own skin and not
See,
go into pure energy?
okay, let me just put it like this now.
Would you date a slim
Models,
lady?
models, like
Max, would
pageant.
you date a slim lady?
Yeah, I've dated a very, very
Like
slim lady.
a very, I mean slim, like slim.
Okay. See, to be very honest now, I really know one line now. Like, no, now, no, oh my god. Like, see, as a guy now, you just see,
I don't make
there's
love.
like it really boils down to taste too. But for
Okay.
me, you being slim is not the issue, but like having those features now that really differentiates you now from a
Yeah.
very conventional guy now, like it's okay for me. Like, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be having those features now that differentiate you from a guy and you are still slim.
Mm.
It's really hard now. Like
How about feminists? Feminists, what impressions do they give?
this practice of feminism, it's really, in fact, the way we go about our
Mm.
practice, the way ladies go about their practice of feminism in Nigeria is really, really different from the
How it should
ideology,
be?
the real ideology.
Okay.
Yeah. So first off, like as a feminist in Nigeria, there's this kind of belief that you must always like you just want to always impose your belief on
Mm.
others as a feminist, and that's totally like defeats the ideology of feminism in the first place. There's no reason for you to always emphasize your message or emphasize particular corrections now that should be made to the way females are perceived in the society by excessively requesting for audience or imposing or projecting sometimes your
Okay.
opinions like to people even when you've not seen that trigger to do so.
Mm.
Take for example now the there was this buzz of guys being too stingy towards ladies back then. How many years ago? I can't really
Okay.
remember. So like this punchline of Stingy Men Association now
Mm.
emanated. Everybody was even going to the like extent of making ID cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then we're like, almost this thing really want on serious gist too. Next thing, like the ladies came with their own tag and it was like Stingy Women, okay, Stingy Ladies Association. And then I looked down to the slogan and I was like, why is your slogan close? What's the meaning of that? Like, we are talking about money here, but
Okay.
and the best thing you feel you could use to like equal that
Yeah.
was you closing your legs.
Okay.
So you see, it kind of boils down now to that ideology of a female feeling that the only thing now
You
she
can
needs to give a
offer.
man
Yeah, yeah,
is
it's down
that.
there. It's down
So
there.
I think that's where the problem
So
lies.
you don't fuck with the feminist energy.
No, I don't really fuck with you. I won't lie to you. Like I can't really just stand the way it's being like carried out most times because this is feminism for crying out loud. Look at our history now. There was this story about the was it the Benin women or the Benin like dynasty about women coming out to fight for the kingdom when they had males, obviously, but women were the ones that saved the kingdom. They were literally warriors, female warriors. Like that is a very, 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 very good base off for anything you want to really start as a practice now in feminism. That kind of energy, like you shouldn't be going about it the other way around. When obviously this is the best part to go about it.
Oh, yeah.
Women now are people that we like look to in terms of care and in terms
Support.
of support, in
Mm.
terms of like even provision too
Mm.
sometimes. So if you really want to pass your message now as a feminist, I believe it should be more of action than you just saying it. Because take for example, you're saying I should spend on you, I should always provide for you. But how do you make me feel now as a lady? Does that really count too?
No.
Because the way it's being like spread now, or the way the message of feminism now is being spread is kind of making it look like a one-sided this thing duty of a man to provide the care, provide it,
It's,
like provide certain things for the lady, make the provision, make the monetary, like it's too much. I feel
So
like
you feel it should go both ways?
it should go both ways, obviously. Now
50-50.
that's the only way it can ever work out, because there's no use making statements like if I'm going out to work, then he must wash, he must do the dishes, and what is that? What is that? Like this is something we really need to work on, because relationships nowadays are really not making sense. Like they are really looking nasty, and we are looking at the wrong directions too now when trying to find out what the problem is,
Mm.
because we have to stop kind of like mapping out duties or mapping out expectations on a very, very high ground now for each of the genders involved in any relationship. So
I'm,
that's
I'm,
just
I'm putting in this spot.
mm,
Feminists and independent, or
mm.
a 100% dependent lady with all the love and care. Which would you go for? Feminist and independent. She has her own shit going. She's a feminist that if you're doing your own, this blah 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 blah. Or a fully dependent, like now you without nothing they suck, and with all the love, care, and support.
Mm, okay.
You have two options.
Yeah, I know, I
Before
know.
you don't explain
I'm
now.
just I'm just trying to balance it up. I'm just trying to
Okay,
balance it up.
okay.
But see, let's just really just be logical about this thing. Let's look back to our parents or times before our parents, our grandparents. How was it done? Like, if I can really remember clearly, those are the kind of marriages now that has gone through the test of
Mm.
time and has really stood many challenges
Main challenges, yeah.
and many like all these impromptu life tests that just
Mm.
comes at you once in a while. So if that has always been working, or it has been found to always stand the test of time, I believe we should just duplicate that. And what was the composition of or the duty assigned to the two sides in a marriage? First off, we've always known our dads now to be
Providing.
very strict,
Yeah.
high class disciplinarians. Like my dad just hit me like twice my whole life so far. But I no fit really forget those two times
That's
when
nice,
he
yeah.
really put hand for my body. I no fit forget them. They are high class disciplinarians, very, very like their image is kind of almost perceived self to be
Mm.
fearful. Because if you're in the parlor now, like you're chilling with your mom in the parlor, and you just hear the car horn from dad, what do you
It's
do?
up. Everybody,
Everybody don't
everybody
really
on, everybody
adjust.
on guard.
So that's really how I feel like a man now should stand. Like you are the head of the family.
Mm.
There's no use of you being so flexible, being so maybe even emotionally immersed now as a man. Your duty still remains providing for the family.
100%.
Protection, like protection,
Provision.
provision, discipline is very, very important for you as a man.
Okay.
So that's the way I see it. And then for the women, on the other hand, um, see, women are just like my mom. I really appreciate God for making women like that, because it was kind of very, very eye opening to see that women can be very, very caring at the same time and still, in a very, very huge percentage, be of support to
Mm.
the man in terms of provision. Where the man fails, you should
That,
feel in.
yeah, exactly.
That's the way it
100,
works. Like
100,
where the man
100.
fails, you should feel in. Like he's struggling with a lot. Nobody needs to
Mm.
really like be biased. He's struggling with a lot already. See the way Nigeria is now, for example.
But bro, you know that this thing you're saying now is not in our generation.
It cannot be
This
found anywhere, and
this our generation, if
it
it's going through a lot.
is that is it. And this thing started off as we trying to emulate the Western practice of how
Yeah,
relationships
yeah,
are being ruled out, because we all know the kind of difficulties we face in the country when it comes to you providing for
mm.
yourself, talk less of you
That's of your
providing for
family.
others or your family now. So why are like the ladies now being so insensitive now to an extent now about the provision thing? Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to fill in for this
Feeling,
guy,
yeah.
because come to think of it, like how many of you now are even capable of taking care of a child now, like
Alone,
alone,
single-handedly. Oh.
alone. So if you want to really get the provision benefits and all those things, then you should really deal with your child alone. But it won't make sense that way now. Like, this is marriage. It's not like
Mm.
see, the whole thing is we are really trying to make relationships now between opposite sex now look like it's really something that has to stand with certain rules on ground.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's coming up with this transactional pattern, like it's a business deal. You have
You
to do
offer
this.
something to
I
get
have to,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. There
yeah,
has to be
yeah.
an offer. There has to be an exchange. Like, no, I don't think that will ever work out.
But it still goes back to our question: independent and feminist,
So
dependent and lovely. Ha! Before you come out from anywhere you go, she don't cook, she don't wash everywhere, she don't paint the house.
so me, the way I picture myself, like the way I want to see myself now in the nearest future, I feel I should be able to provide for my family alone. But who knows? It might not really work out that way. But still,
Mm.
I would really prefer if I really achieved that standpoint, because I would go for your second option, a woman who whole attention is being focused on the home.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay,
my
okay.
children, like,
Yeah,
they are my children.
yeah.
If I'm providing, yes, then my wife should,
Should we have an eye on them?
yeah, have an eye on them, like full time. So if it comes to making like an option now of these two, picking one option, I think I'll go for the second one, because having an independent feminist now as a
Comes
life
with a
partner
lot.
comes with a lot. Like, man, they see shiggy for that kind of setting. I don't even want to begin to go into details, because
But you will agree that dependent ladies can also be tiring at a point
yeah,
because at everything you're always asking, always asking,
they're
always
always
asking.
demanding. In fact, sometimes they're always, like finding the list.
Mm,
But fact is, if she remains a mother, like, it's very obvious. Like, once a woman really satisfies the man, really meets with the expectations of a man, I don't see any reason why the man should even toy with her position in his life. You understand? So if she's being excessively demanding, come on, if I'm seeing what you're doing, if I'm seeing your handwork now,
yeah, you're
when it
doing
comes to
perfectly
aspect of my
fine.
children
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
being
yeah,
well
yeah, yeah.
disciplined, like growing up to be like exemplary children in the society, I don't think I'll have an issue self with even getting you
Yeah, yeah,
more than you
more
asked
than
for.
asked for.
So you can begin to see that now it's as a result of the efforts being put in to
Mm,
relationship. That will always determine the extent the other person
it's going
will
to,
dedicate
yeah.
to, or would even like show in terms of appreciation. So that's how I
Well,
see
the
it.
thing is that as much as this is what is expected, it's not
Mm.
what we have.
It's not what we
It's
have,
not what we
and
have at this.
I sense or I fear it will never be what we have, because
So you don't believe that there are still ladies with that um
there can't be now. There can't be. There can't possibly be. Like, let's be very honest with ourselves now. See the term understanding girlfriend now.
it has turned to a total joke.
A
Like
joke, like what's the meaning of understanding girlfriend? Like, as a girlfriend, I not meant to be understanding, like,
exactly.
normally. So now we are having more words now and less responsibilities now. Understanding girlfriend. You don't want to be understanding.
Like nobody even wants to be tagged with that
No,
thing.
but nobody wants to be tagged an understanding girlfriend. And I begin to wonder, where does this sound wrong? Like, what part of this phrase now sounds wrong? Being an understanding girlfriend. And yes, it can really be very, very stressful, or very, very like mentally challenging to see a guy struggling all the time, and he fails
Mm,
to meet your demands, and
demands
he
and
fails
yeah.
to meet your benefits, such that even amongst your own peers now as a lady, you don't really match up to
Mm,
the level they are. Yeah, it can, but you can do something, but
exactly.
why don't you start doing something then? Why don't you try to fix it? Have you tried like feeling like up the spaces, or like looking after this man, giving him the support he needs? Just listening to him sometimes might be very, 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 very beneficial to making that man become something self that you what
We will still
will still
enjoy. We
enjoy.
will still enjoy you.
So because
But the one you want here is understanding the
like you just want
girlfriend.
to see receipts, you just want to go on vacations, you just always want to receive
Without doing
gifts
anything, they just
without
one
doing
day as they do
anything
makeup.
but satisfying this man sexually. Come on. I don't want to say it out loud, but this sounds very, very familiar to some kind of ladies we know already.
Mm.
The pattern of like demands now from this feminists now.
But if on the other hand, it's still the men that are encouraging these things because
Thanks to Sims, thanks to Bart Simpsons in the house. Yes, like
if you look at it, if you set a body
mm-hmm,
and you see a Christian homely girl,
mm-hmm.
most guys will still go for this happening body or happening babe.
Or you start to hear things like a mix of Rihanna with Choma Jesus. What is that? That doesn't exist. That can't exist now. But a baddie, you call that a baddie for a reason, Sha. She's badass now. Why do you think she'd be available for only you, but you just call that a badass? Like it's just logic.
Reserved body.
There's nothing like reserved body. You call that a body for a reason. You saw her displaying somewhere. That's why you call that a body. So, guy, common sense, shall like that's the way it is. Oh. You are looking out for a body now that will still be a wife material to you.
How?
Check out your mom now. She like
bro, observe what they do.
I mean, if it's even hard to paint nails, if it even hard to dance in public, those are those kind of like limits a woman now should be able to fix on herself personally for her to become that ideal wife material or motherly material to the children. Seriously, because let's not really deceive ourselves. You can never make a good home with a lady that is so immersed in how she can hook the next guy or hook somebody she finds. Like, come on, all these things they are really, really obvious. And it even gets tiring sometimes to discuss it because one funny thing is we have a conscience. We have our principles that we were raised up with. We even have our morals as human beings. So we know what we tell ourselves. We know what we are doing. We know when we go wrong. We know when we do the right things. So I feel everybody should pay more attention to those things that they live by. So
this brings my memory to when I saw someone's private snap. The person was like 50K for private snap. And I'm like, for someone to do that in 50K, oh my she God. Blue with that contact.
You see that Snapchat.
But people will still pay for
that
it.
Whole Snapchat package. It really they bother me because okay, see this term now, Ashawo. We know the definition of what an Ashawo is. Okay. One day I was really plagued by this thing because it was going to the extent whereby random ladies on Snapchat come to your DMs and be like, I do hook up. And I'm like, why do you guys try to two-shop this word with hook up? Okay, what is the difference now between a girl giving hookup services to an ashewo? Tell me one difference now you can find between the two. So it's beginning to sound like they are looking for a word now that will really make them feel.
I think they will say hookup at the younger ashewo.
Ashewo don't really get grade. Like they were really trafficking girls out of the country. Are you kidding me? Ashewo don't really get grade. You are found there. You are found in that setting. You are one of them. So it's like it now makes it more obvious that the reason why they will even look for a kind of like to word now to use to package the whole thing is because you guys know what you are doing. You know what this business is. You know what you are moving to.
The society has already branded the Ashewo name.
Exactly, they branded it now to make it more socially acceptable.
It's no more hookups. It's not call girl. New names.
Then we'll change the name. Like, let's see where it's going to go.
But let's talk about Sims. Have you met a simp?
No, see. Have you met a simp? Yes. But at one point too, I've been a simp myself. Like, okay. No need to be dishonest about it.
Yeah.
I believe that's what makes you less of a simp now in the future. Going through that experience, knowing where you really went wrong, where
how stupid you've been.
On my Jones, but like
I don't know, like you're not gonna say you
don't really look like if you point out say, you don't really
your mind will say it's love. I'm doing it out of love.
Exactly. And it really goes to show you how far a guy can go now when he's really into a lady. And that's why mostly the self, like obviously, that's why they look for Sims. That's why they are better attached to Sims. That's why they feel very comfortable being with the Sim. Boy is the Sim. So
Oh,
that's just it.
what's the craziest thing you've done in your simping days?
Bro. You know really green me talk, bro. Like you know really green me talk, bro. I don't know. But it was still monetary, sha. But you know now, like
So
don't overcredit this money, like oh boy. But it's still I'm still thankful for that lesson, sha, because like ladies are really, really far now from what we expect them to be or
for them
take
to
them to be.
exactly.
Most of them. So it's just a pity, sha, that we now have to use words like simp and we have to use words like badgy or who.
But you
Just
just feel like sometimes the simp is just trying to express his love in the way he can, not putting any boundary or any societal boundary. Just
Mm-mm.
wants to come out and show the
No,
girl that
no, I won't agree with that. Though they try to make it look like it's just a guy being in love, but it's really beyond that. I think it has to do with esteem. It really
okay.
boils down to esteem. Because as a guy, you should know what you can do.
Mm,
You should know the kind of respect you should be receiving.
mm,
You should know the kind of lady you want, the kind of lady you deserve, how you like the expectations. So, if you really have the necessary amount of esteem as a guy, I don't see any reason why you should always be bending to a lady's demands, or if she throws you to the side, you're already
but you know,
there.
like if you're having all these boundaries,
No,
you start loving with caution, and it's
no,
not fun.
it's not boundaries. It's just what we are seeing, like playing out in real time. It's not like we just came up with these boundaries. They are as a result of what we've seen.
Mm.
Like you yourself, yeah, guys
No,
around you, you know
I
the kind
know,
of things
I
you've
know what you're
seen.
talking about.
And as ladies too would have it, like they know what their friends who have gone
Mm,
through in the hands of funny guys. So it's really not boundary. It's just the mind really learns from experiences
exactly.
in first person or in third person. Like it's really just like that. So
What's like your reaction when you see simp? You just be like,
ah,
you will learn.
real hard, real hard. And what I find scary is, which I later discovered, is how a simp can literally not tell he's simping. Like, have you
Exactly.
tried talking to a simp before? My guy, you know they really see wetin you dey do again. That bobby don't block you. You don't block your eye finish. You don't want to see anything now,
Make
bro.
I boss your head. Most sims no dey ever collect anything. No. They just
That is
do
that,
the
what
surfacing.
the hell? Like, see if you've really updated the definition of this Sims thing. No. We should really update it because I've really come to notice that most Sims now, like the updated version now, the most updated versions, they don't even get the benefits the past
Mhm.
ones do get. Because the way it was.
And the crazy thing still remains that these sims or whatever they call themselves never do enough. They're the ones that buy food for her, go the most outing, but
That, and even the surprising part is how, like, if you know, the formal pattern of this simping thing was usually you get the benefits
mm,
only if you like uh, do the simping thing.
mm,
But Charles, she must really give you the exchange or the equivalent now
yeah,
thing
yeah,
you
yeah,
want or
yeah,
you've
yeah,
always been
yeah,
chasing
yeah.
from the bay. But now, like, you just get the basic male to female, like maybe bonding bodily contact, and you're already doing a whole lot of
A
things
whole
that
lot, a whole
okay,
lot.
you should know. Let me tell you of this certain person which you know of already, because remember how we used to like talk to this guy. See,
Yeah.
guy, like you don't they really follow this man go market. You don't they really wait for
Anyways,
downstairs.
which
They
open
carry
day?
nylon. You don't they do us like things wey be say man not supposed they do. Like even your hustle self, you don't fashion
I
am
don't
just to
fashion
spend
around.
time with am.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
now you are doing way less than you used to before. And this van now don't fashion you. You get that kind of setting now. So it's simping is
And
really like
as we said, you know,
scary.
get the kind talk we want talk to them.
Omo,
Their mind is fixed on that job.
they just want to serve.
It be like 9 to 5.
They want serve. They won't really serve. NYSC relationship again. Like, guy, a whole 2 hours. I had this certain guy like talking to this man chill. Still, a whole 2 hours. It was as if he even got worse self after the whole speech or the whole advice. 2 hours spent on advising this guy, and it got worse.
They
It got
said
worse.
love is a beautiful
Like
thing.
love is a beautiful thing, no, but they also say love is blind. I don't know why they don't say love is blind because honestly, Sha, like not to be too judgmental though, but I feel relationships should have really been very very enjoyable, or it would have been something somebody would willingly even want to start off if only the two sides were being very very honest
Yeah,
and very dedicated to the relationship. Because to be very honest with you, if you really do care about
someone.
your partner or
Yeah.
someone, you care more about the benefits from them and even be the one trying to provide and show that care more,
Mm.
honestly. And it's really sad
I
because
always tell people that this relationship is a two-way
it's a
something.
two-way
It's a
something.
two-way
Because
something.
if it's one-sided,
It's
it's becomes suffocating for the person
yeah,
always
yeah,
providing.
yeah.
And before you know, like the person becomes so comfortable to cheat, so comfortable to do many things. And come to think of it, this aspect of abuse in relationships, these are really the patterns that get like that starts rolling out before somebody gets to the extent which he or she now is fed up and starts abusing the other person.
Mm.
It really starts this way because the person feels he or she is being cheated,
Yeah, yeah,
so they
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
be given any more. Like they start to let out their anger, their
But
frustrations on
if you
you.
think about it, it's also the same as having a like I asked you, feminist and dependent.
Hmm.
If the lady is fully dependent on you, what if times where business don't go,
Exactly, like
you now take out anger and frustration on her?
exactly, and that's why we should now be very, very honest with ourselves and just admit that nobody really wants such a woman these
Mm.
days. Like, there's no reason why she should be so dependent on me, like totally dependent. Even if you are doing well to some extent and you are really giving me what I want in the family, there'll be certain times when even my own output would be
Mm.
affected by maybe like just the
Yeah.
way the country is now, the whole inflation, the whole recession,
Exactly,
the
exactly,
currency thing, like
exactly, exactly.
stuff like that do happen. This is life. Nothing is predictable. So if it starts to go south for me and I'm still trying to let out the energy, I'm still trying to output the the level of provision I've been making out for the family, and I just see you sit home, you're not making adjustments to your own routine.
And they feel
Uh,
very, very
like I
comfortable.
feel very comfortable, and all you do is really just ask for no, no, I won't be comfortable. There's no way I'll be comfortable.
Mm.
Like we shouldn't even try to sweet talk and this kind of thing. Surely I'll get fed up at some point
Yeah.
and like seriously irritated. So at some point now, I might even like start to do things I don't do before. And then I'll just deceive myself with the fact that okay, if at all I'm the one providing
Yeah.
and she's just sitting there.
She's just there.
That's when you start hearing
Exactly.
things like men feeling comfortable to
Exactly.
cheat. And
Exactly.
it's not like I'm trying to make the whole action justified or the whole thing of cheating justified or abuse in relationships
Mm.
justified. It's just I'm trying to make it as open and try to be unbiased as possibly as I can be, because there's no reason for you to think the next person is a reverend father. I be human being, you be human being.
Yes, sir.
If you know what you won't take,
Yeah.
don't assume I'll take it. That alone now will really just keep the two sides
On check.
on check. If you know I won't take this and you know you won't too, why push it towards me? Like, why expect this kind of thing from me? Why stress me when you know you can give a lending hand or
Mm.
give your support and everything will be okay? Because there's really no time when a relationship will just be so good and so sweet
Yeah.
till the
To
end.
the end,
There'll surely
exactly.
be challenges. So it's really just about dedication, and your emotions like really has to be in terms of like your feelings for the person.
Mm.
Sorry, not emotions, your feelings for the person has to be potent enough at least to care for them, to always be there for them from the two sides.
On the two sides,
From the two
exactly.
sides, care has never been a duty of the woman, but it's always like expected of a
Expected,
woman, like
exactly. Yeah.
because obviously you're female.
Exactly.
You there's one keyword I used earlier when we started, warmth. Your care is what opens up people to you. Like a man is attracted to a lady for the warmth she gives him,
The atmosphere,
the
the
atmosphere she always creates around
mm.
their
Because there's a lot going on in that man's life.
yes, like make him feel loved. There's not really much like demanded of him. Just make him feel loved, make him feel he has somebody that I can look back to when things go south. And on the lady side too, like I'm sorry, on the guy side too, provide, like really nobody will deny the fact as a man you are really just expected to provide.
Yeah.
It might sound so
You can't skip it.
like disappointing. But
Sorry to cut
really,
you
as a
in.
man, you're just meant to
Are you saying
provide.
you cannot get with a lady that earns more than you, way more than you?
That earns way more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really see it as a challenge. Like,
So
God
really,
knows I've really been praying for. No, seriously, I've really been even hoping to get a partner where a kind of partner that earns as close as much as I do.
no,
How much I dey even
now
earn,
I'm
self, but
saying way more than you.
way more
She's
than me.
she's like,
Okay,
yeah, I'm
see,
saying way more than
see,
you.
make you just really tell ourselves. So, you know the reason why I'll not really want to be with such a partner. I will take time. I go see serious shit for the man. And I'm like,
Yes,
premium.
premium shit.
That is just it. Because what causes this thing now is
Maybe lie.
what causes this thing now is the like psychological like this thing composition of
Mm,
the male and the female. Females now like they feel once they are financially independent,
mm,
once they are very well to do, they are like high class in society.
yeah,
They don't need a man.
exactly.
That's the way they this
That's the
thing.
thought.
But a man, no matter the position he is in
He
life,
knows he needs a
he
woman.
knows and he feels he needs a woman.
Mm.
So it's kind of an imbalance in nature to me though, but it goes to tell you the extent of shaggy now. You really see with a lady that earns way more than you do. Before you know now, you are the one with the house cleaning, you are left with the house cleaning.
Normally
She
now,
goes to work, she drives out, you
I
are the
go
one that
cook
will
before
lock
she
the
come
gate.
back.
You go gas cook before she return. She don't dey home for gate, you gas go open gate.
I don't know you know what chop that night.
This guy like before you know it now, you've literally sold your ego, which is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah,
thing a
yeah,
man really holds
yeah.
dear now. As a man, you've sold it, and she then sees that vulnerability and takes advantage of it.
And
That's the way. That's the way.
she's
it really
100% cheating on you. Don't worry.
ends.
Like
The
there's no
cheat
way
part
escape.
is you know,
100. You know exactly.
but you want
know.
chop now. So
And you need shelter
really
now.
day like it's not really sad though. But see, the fact is not like there's no side of it now that is so imperfect or um so wrong when it comes to this relationship thing. It's more of if you two decide to really be like if you two really want to be together or you want to like
Mm,
take it long term
mm.
and you really want it to last, you both know what to do.
That's the thing. You
That's
know
just the
what
truth.
to
Like
do.
you will know what to do. You know the kind of lady you are with, you know what to do to keep her.
Mm,
As a lady, you know the kind of guy you are
yeah,
with, you know what to do to keep him. If you're interested in keeping the person. But we should be careful to like always point out when you are being exploited.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah,
that check
yeah,
now
yeah,
comes
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And
But how do you know though? For
obviously,
those that
like
are going through
see now,
exploitation.
like me now, like everybody won't work with my own like rough sketch or
Mm,
pattern of detecting. Because come to think of it, the issue of this esteem, like I said, has done way more damage than expected or we can even see. Because okay, somebody with low self-esteem now dating a high self-esteem guy. Okay, a lady with high self-esteem
mm.
dating a low self-esteem guy. There's nothing the lady will do at that moment that the guy won't find offensive.
Yeah, 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 exactly,
Like
exactly.
when she talks about her friends most times, the guy might be like, "Oh, you don't be comparing me to that your friend,
Feels like
boyfriend."
it feels
He
challenged.
feels challenged,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
as a
yeah.
result of the guy's ego as a man still or
Low
low
ego.
self-esteem, low ego self. So it's just like that because come to think of it, like if esteem wasn't really the issue, why do most of us feel the need to be in a relationship when we are not even ready?
Ready for it.
Because the basis for a relationship still remains self-love. If you don't love yourself enough, my guy, you not go really feel love anybody. You just get this. That's just it. It goes for
Word,
both ends.
word, word, word,
If you don't
word.
love yourself enough,
To the camera, bro.
you will never love the other person enough. Seriously, like self-love is that very, very important thing
Yeah.
most of us skip.
So I feel like you need to understand the kind of love.
You need to understand the kind of love now that you enjoy
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
person. The love you
exactly.
show yourself
You
is the kind of love you show the other person. You know what
facts.
you don't like. You hate bleaching cream, for example. Why are you buying bleaching cream for your baby? That kind of thing, like you know you don't like it, but you're buying it for your lady. You shouldn't be surprised when next you see her now and she's all with the bleachy white skin, and then
And green
she starts
veins.
irritating you. Like you shouldn't be surprised because you gave it to her when you know you don't like it.
But for you as a man, how do you like to be perceived in your first meetup? Like you're meeting someone for the first time. How do you want the person to see you when you walk up or when the person walks up to you?
Okay, letting go of like this all these differential attitudes in
Mm,
people and what they perceive in the next person. let me just ignore that. But I would love to be perceived as a person that would be an exact mirror of the kind of energy you give. Like anything you want to expect from me,
Mm.
just take it as a reflecting
Of what you're
this
doing.
thing, a reflecting energy from you
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
fair
yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Mhm. Let's take for example, on first basis of meeting, I want you to just take me as this kind of person that if you welcome me warmly,
Mm.
there's no reason why I won't shower you with warmth.
Okay, okay, okay,
And
okay, okay,
really, I'm that
okay,
kind of person
okay.
because I wouldn't want to like sense bad things or bad energy or get a bad impression of you so as to not really kill the relationship at that early time.
Okay,
I would
okay.
really want to hope that you make me feel comfortable. And once you make me feel comfortable, from the way
But
I
you know, like
even
for
relate,
example, using females as an example,
mm,
most females don't usually keep up to first impression. No females switch according to time.
like,
So if they start with warmth and you give them warmth, then all of a sudden you're seeing a whole different human being.
see, you really the horror film, oh, really the horror film. Like, is the ability for someone to just perfectly disguise
Bro,
and
some kind of camel
my,
move.
my chameleon moves, major chameleon moves. Like it's just that tendency to always disguise perfectly according to the circumstances at
Mm.
hand now. You met this guy, okay, he's well to do, he's a cool guy, like everybody like this kind of spec, my hot
Mm.
spec. You disguise enough as a very submissive lady
Let's
to
make
just
yourself.
win him over. You've won the guy over now, you want to show him premium pro shiggy. Like shiggy now we go really make the guy like really lock up, be like, oh man,
What to be this?
waiting be this. There's no reason for that. Like, you know, you're not that kind of person. Really, just display it from the one.
Yeah,
In as much as you want to always radiate first impression, you should be careful to
careful.
not lose yourself, or should be careful to
Mm.
not
Speak your
disguise.
shit, bro.
Like
Careful not to lose
to
yourself.
lose yourself, because once you've lost yourself, you might even be oppressed now, and you won't even tell.
Exactly.
You might even
And you can't always keep up.
be taken advantage of, and you won't even tell. Or you can even start taking advantage of the other person, and
Mm.
you won't tell that this person now don't really dodge you. So,
But
just that kind of
how do you deal with situations where the person switched up on you? This is what the person showed initially. Then all of a sudden,
logic.
a new drama.
I'll always want to apply logic. It's a thing of emotion, oh, but
Yeah.
logic is still very vital because the heart would be so blind to many things, but the brain is ever functional. This person switched up. Now the person why I jam for first time be this. No. Oga come on body now. But me thinking with my heart now will always want to hope on the
Hope on.
fact that the person might change. Another hope will really kill you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just
yeah,
come
yeah,
on
yeah,
body.
yeah.
So I would really leave.
That's why women die in their relationship.
Like,
I was trying to change him.
I was trying to change him, like I'm the only one that can calm him down. Before you know now, like some people not supposed to touch you, don't touch you. Try to be sensible. Like all these things are really they're really just so obvious enough.
Like like in general, ladies think with their hearts.
Nah, no, they think with the two. They think with the two. Ah, oh my guy, no, they think with the two.
But majority just think with their emotions, how they feel
Yeah.
about it.
And to be very honest, in as much as it seems like maybe ladies are the ones that really need the most amount of change, it all boils down to the fact that many guys damaged ladies.
Plenty.
Many
I'll
guys
tell you a story after.
damaged ladies.
Because no, there's this girl I know that she went into hookup because a guy massacred her heart.
Like
When you've given your all and this guy comes to tell you rubbish.
even to the extent of abortion self.
Bro.
I've like
Bro.
these stories on Twitter are not real. Like this guy knew like number of abortions. She has done 9 abortions
Guys know
for
they
you,
try
and
you.
you still had the mind to let her
Guys
go.
know they try you.
Guys really know they try. We know they try. Now we really know they try. Like guys, let's adjust.
I bet we'll do better.
More do better. And ladies to do better, because why are you having 9 abortions for a guy that hasn't put a ring on your finger?
We're like,
Men really apply sense.
I know this.
You're in love, but apply sense.
I'm like, what's the person telling you? Like, what's it telling you that you do number 1, 2, 3?
If a guy really loves you, why would he ask you to abort that child? Knowing fully well that a mistake has been made. And that process can possibly damage your life. Not all abortions now are really just so 100% smooth. Some go wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't die, you lose your womb, or a vital organ is being affected. If that your guy really loves you, there's no how he will allow you to do such. And if that
What
guy
if-
loves you, self, there's no reason why you want to be so careless
But what
to get
if
impregnated in the first place.
what if situation whereby he's not ready, then the mistake has been made. But it's not. It does, this abortion is not something of you have to go to the hospital. You take pills and
Yes,
stuff.
yes. That one, Konji.
And mistake happens.
Yes, and mistakes still happen.
So does it mean the person doesn't love the person, or he's trying to
No,
avoid a very
in such
uncomfortable
circumstances
situation?
now where somebody wants to be very like self-centered and selfish or wants to manipulate you, it will be very obvious. Okay, it happened the first time, it was all a mistake. Fine. I'm not saying you should abort, but okay, you want to forgive and move on. Okay, quite good. But I feel if you want to really keep that from happening, you have to make adjustments to certain
Yeah.
parameters, like maybe your intimacy, like pay more attention to certain things in aspect of your protection and health.
Or use a fucking condom, bro.
Like it's not really difficult. And there are also contraceptives too on the ladies end. Like put all these things into check. Like really, nobody needs to form holy at this time. You don't need to say because you don't want to go and stand and buy CD in front of people that man God could do
That's
this.
a daft
No,
excuse.
because what happened before will likely repeat itself.
Yeah.
And by then now both of you will be on stance. Who is whining each other?
So for you, as you said that as a man, you want people to see you the same way as a mirror of what they are showing.
Yeah.
So like what's like your craziest experience someone gave off?
That was last year.
It's really so.
I was on a date with this lady. Like we're friends first off, like kind of like familiar in the past days, but decided to invite her over now, and we were talking. So I asked her like, "What was your past relationship like?" You know this like scenario whereby a lady goes off talking about her past relationship, but you just notice one thing: the guy is always the one being at fault. Like in every scenario,
There's something
like
fishy.
there's always something fishy. Like why is this guy always committing and you've not committed anything? Like why is your guy always at fault and you've not had one scenario, not even one, where you've been at fault? So I really like was irritated though, because I really pointed out the fact that she was trying to be manipulative about the kind of person she was. She wanted to just like paint a fake image,
But
a
don't you
false
feel like
image of her personality.
it's for everybody? Because I mean, if you're trying to woo a girl now, you tell her that all your relationships you were
And
this and that.
see,
the girl never waited for you.
like see,
It's still the same manipulative game everybody's playing.
normally, but we all know the extent of manipulation we put into like all these things now. No be even manipulation. Now this small lamba we just do all those like.
And then the number we should give you
Small
to
lamba, no,
I don't
small
know
lamba,
that.
like we all know it's not possible now to have multiple relationships in the past, but in every single one of them, you were never at fault. You must have done one or two things wrong now. Like it's very, very stupid of you to just always want to be right. Like nobody's perfect.
Probably she's just trying to protect her face and win the person
Yes,
over.
but
at the
why
end.
are you protecting an image you don't like live by? It's still that same thing now. Like you said, like manipulation, like we don't really need it. It's the basis for any relationship now that's going to end really, really soon.
But you agree that it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
manipulating
It
each
goes
other.
both ways. Like there's no reason for a guy now to lie about the past relationships. There's no reason for a lady to lie about.
Are you
past
saying
relationships.
if a girl comes now and asks you what your body count is, you would say anything above 3?
You see this issue of body counts now? This our generation now shouldn't even be asking questions like that, because we all know how low key promiscuous now we are.
I don't know what's now. If a girl asks you now what's your body count, what's the tendency you won't mention anything less than 3?
Okay,
Or 3 itself, because that's the random number. Everybody's body count is 3.
why? Okay, before I even answer your
Will
question,
you tell
now,
her the
like
truth?
no, wait, let me ask you this question. Why should the lady now be bothered about my body count?
Just the same way you're bothered about her past.
Yes, I'm bothered about her past. Yes, that's true. Like I'll ask you about your past.
Now,
Obviously,
she's
because I
also
want to know the kind of person you've been now.
exactly.
Let's go to the extent of asking you about your body count, because I surely know there will be damages now. There will surely be damages. Like no, now check out like how most ladies now have really been having records here on social media and different places.
So you don't
I
want to know
wouldn't
her
want to
body
even
count.
damage my like impression of her now by asking her body count.
You're saying you don't
And
want
it's
to
very offensive to even do that.
You're being real now. You don't want to know her body count.
I wouldn't want to know.
Okay,
honestly.
what if you're asking about her partner? She's telling you multiple experiences of hanging leg up and down.
Like
You won't want to know exactly how many how many people hung that leg.
like you said, she already mentioned multiple, and it's not about how many times though, but how many people.
That's body count.
That's
now.
body count, yes.
Uh-huh.
For how many people? If you are recounting past experiences, but with the same person, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm good. You guys were in a relationship, but
Okay.
okay, it's cool. But you are now mentioning different names.
What if she's mentioning different names? Then you ask her.
Now, and there's nothing for me to ask. Like, I don't know why I'm you.
You
Like,
make
I
your
really no go
assumptions.
last. Like, I really no go even last for that whole conversation. I don't come on body. There's no reason asking you how many when you've mentioned way so many names, right? It makes no sense. It's not meant to be like
That
that.
means you are saying no girl should ask you your body count.
Mm,
They should just assume 3.
see, no lady would even bother doing that. Once I tell them, I won't ask of yours. Like,
So no ask me.
don't ask me. Seriously, such details, we don't really need it because
Okay.
that alone now can give you the wrong impression about the person you're with. So especially when the body count is kind of like on the high side. Because believe me, like many ladies now are really the kind of ladies that do feel giving you access to their body now is a way of really appreciating the relationship. Some ladies
Is
were
it?
brought up. Yes. No, seriously, some
Okay.
were brought up with that kind of belief
Okay, yeah.
that giving you access to their body now is a kind of a way to show your appreciation. So if she was unfortunate to be involved in many relationships, obviously with direct proportional belief now, her body count will be high. If she has had 39 past relationships, she has a body count of 39.
But
So in situations like that now, you can't really
can
say
you
it's
tell
really
a lady's body count from her physical appearance based on first impression? Like you see her, the way she's dressed, you just guess like this girl supposed to wipe like 45.
uh,
Do you try at least?
no. I really don't want
But
to
can
know.
you tell?
I can't no now nobody's a detector for that now. There's really no way you can tell. There's really no way you can tell.
So you
Like,
can't tell if your
there's
girl
been
is wild or
in
not.
fact there's been many scenarios in the past whereby even people that were infected, sexually infected self, were not giving out the least physical detail of that infection. So why feel you can detect from physical appearance? It doesn't really work that way.
So to the Sims out there that are giving off dirty
Simpish vibes
yeah, and tarnishing the image of
of
the masculine
the male
figure.
society. Sure.
What do you advise, and how do you think they can come out of that shameless dirty act?
Like I said earlier on, self-love, it all boils down to self-love. Self-love. Like there's a way it works. If you love yourself just enough,
Mm,
your self-esteem would be high enough or would be just enough to make you a very, very healthy guy when it comes to how you treat the opposite sex in a relationship
okay.
and your expectations and how in terms too you provide for them. Okay, so you should be very, very careful not to overdo it.
Mm,
Like the extent of stress you put into your work, the extent of effort you put into your daily hustle now to make money. So there's no reason why you should try to flaunt your money excessively or try to be extravagant with your spending because you want to put out that image
yeah,
that you are financially
yeah,
stable.
yeah.
Like come to think of it, like many financially stable people we know do more of showing, like do less of showing, I mean,
Yeah.
and more of like the workings. They earn more to
Mm,
sustain. They don't spend more because you cannot spend more and sustain your money. So if you are trying to win her over on basis of cash, as truthful as I can be, I don't see you keeping that lady self because this is a like thing of emotions now, a thing of feelings. There's no reason for you to feel you can attract the opposite sex now only by being extravagant.
okay.
It makes no sense because any lady you pay for from the first visit, you are going to keep on paying till the very last day.
Okay.
That's the way it works. But moreover, like instead of focusing on the whole financial aspect of provision, this and that,
Mm,
focus more on trying to understand the person you are with.
mm,
It goes on both ends. Understand the person you are with. Try to understand if there's any compatibility between the both of you before you even start to look out for the person's financial status or
okay.
stuff like that. Like you are talking about emotions and you are looking at money.
Mm,
It's a very, very stupid thing to do. Money, this thing is physical. This is something that has value. But these are emotions, things you cannot even touch, but you can feel
I
in a
feel it.
very,
Yeah,
very huge percentage. So I think you should be more careful about you losing your emotions than you getting money. Like that
So
doesn't even worth the damage you might suffer in the long run.
you mentioned someone that you know is a simster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're to walk up to the person and tell and actually you most probably have
No,
spoken to the
like
person.
I've spoken with this
Because
guy
this is
on
like-
many occasions, and I'm done doing that because I'm not the only person that has done some talking to this guy or
Okay.
advised him. So obviously he's way beyond saving. So let's leave that guy. Let's leave that.
It
But
should-
if there are any more sims out there that
Okay.
really want some piece of advice, really pay attention to what you need to pay attention to. Forget the boobs or the ass we really dey see, because
They
all
important, sha.
those are physical features.
But it
They
is
have
important.
nothing to do with the attitude. Yeah.
You also dey
But
important.
it's very, very important.
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's very important. But pay attention to what you really need, what
Okay.
you think you should be getting, and what you would prefer in a lady. Like you said, first impressions. What impression is she giving you? Are you comfortable with it? If you are not, move. If you
Move.
are, stay.
Still.
So it's that simple.
But Sims are usually comfortable, sha.
Now they're really comfortable in any vibe. It's so sad, Shabon.
Anyways, thank you for joining us on today's episode. My name is Pretty Boy Chief, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. God bless you. I love you, but God loves you more. Peace.